Hi, it's Marco. In this video, I will share with you an interview that I recently made with the CEO of the Lonvest platform, which I recently discovered. So we talked about what are really the features of its platform, why he actually created it, and how it's actually different from all the other peer-to-peer lending platforms out there. We also talked about the topic of regulation and safety of the investors' money on the platform. And at the end, we also dive into the future of peer-to-peer lending from London. I asked him what he thinks about where the field is going. And we also talked about what's coming for this platform, Lonvest, in the future. Without further ado, let's go right into the interview I made with the CEO of Lonvest. Again, thank you for coming to this show. And if you could just introduce yourself and also your company, Lonvest.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me, first of all. My name is Roman Katerynchyk. I'm a fintech entrepreneur with have a background like 16 years in entrepreneurship. Now I'm introducing the platform that we launched recently that is called Lonvest. We're a fintech group and we're working right now in four or five even countries. I don't quite remember. It's European countries, Poland and Ukraine, and Southeast Asia countries, Vietnam, Sri Lanka, and recently now we're launching Philippines. So we've been in this fintech and lending business for almost more than 8 years now. And Lonvest is a platform that we launched in the beginning of this year that is doing P2P investing opportunities for investors from Europe. Investors can get a passive income with investing in loans with the interest rates up to 15% depending on the countries. All the products that we're offering are only from our group, so we have a group guarantee for investors, and all these loans are from the companies and brands that we represent in different locations.
Okay, great. That was a great introduction for sure. Um, as I imagine, it's not easy to launch a new peer-to-peer lending company. So what actually pushed you really initially to create Lonvest?
Oh, that's a good question. Since there's a bunch of platforms out there on the market, but I'm thinking about our group strategy since I'm the founder and the CEO of our group,
Yeah.
and we see the opportunity on the market to expand since from the very beginning we'll be focusing mostly on our primary market in Ukraine, where we are number one right now in terms of the customers and loan disbursements and stuff like that. So we disburse a bit around 3 million loans in Ukraine. In 2019, we decided that we can go for new markets, and we launched Southeast Asia and Vietnam. That is very successful for us as well. So we have a very good international background and experience, and from that time we launched some other countries as well. Now we see very good opportunities. This business model working in a lot of countries, and our pipeline look like 3, 4 countries in the next 2 years already. So we see the opportunity, and this opportunity has to be covered. So that's why we launched P2P investment platform, because we see is from one side opportunity for our group to expand, to launch new countries, and for investors we can give the option to invest in the well-established finance group with background. So worldwide we have like 5 million customers, something like this. We have proven track records, so the most of the companies are profitable. And we see a very good opportunity in Southeast Asia, in America, in Africa. So we're here to go.
Okay, great. So maybe a follow-up on this question. As you know, as you mentioned also, there are many platforms out there, especially in Europe. So how is Lonvest different from those other platforms? So you already mentioned one thing, right? That you basically all your loan originators are within your group, right? So you control them all. Is that something else, or is that the main thing?
Yeah. So I will divide this differentiation in terms of like the product and the business. So in terms of the business, as you mentioned, when you talk about investments, you always care about risk. So for investors, we have this buyback guarantee. We have very important that all of our companies they're doing their own risk management in terms of the customer. Like we have anti-fraud risk management system that are all based on machine learning and AI. So this gives us an opportunity to have the best like NPLs on the market. So we leverage a lot of technology there. So another thing is, of course, in terms of the business, is that we have experience. Were established like 8 years ago, so it means that we have a big team. Our head office consists of like 200 people, which are in tech, risk, marketing, and things like that. Local companies are in operation, so they are very, very good established. Also, I can say that in terms of product, we have a very easy product to use. So there's a one-click investment option when you can choose auto strategy and just get income. And we have easy exit. So whenever you need liquidity and your money back, you can receive this money back and go from there. So we're trying to combine, from the one hand, the benefits of the kind of group business when you invest in one well-known established fintech group, and from the other hand, our product should be easy to use and should have the most popular features like one-click investment or easy exit option.
Right. Yeah, definitely that. So maybe now a bit more general. So on my site, on my YouTube channel, my podcast, I try to give investors, a lot of way to diversify the investment. So there are many things you can invest on, right, for passive income. You have invest in the stock market for dividends. That's what I do as well. You have classical real estate. You have the usual savings account, right? So why do you think that peer-to-peer lending, for example, is better or different than all the other asset classes out there?
Yeah, so I'm an investor myself, so I invest in different class assets. So I invest in real estate as well. The loans, since I'm an expert in loan, and I've been in this business for a while, I can say that loans is very interesting because it's the real liquidity. So you're talking about money, and money is actually the product that you're like selling and buying. Number one. Number two, when we talk about short-term or mid-term loan, this is the product with like I would say short-term liquidity happening very fast. So you invest, the customer repays back. So you don't have to wait until this like apartment or the building will be sold on the market. It all depends on the market situation, like we have right now. So the markets are shaking, and you don't know what's going to be tomorrow. But when you invest in loans, you understand that you like invest in the contract, in the obligation that was given, and you have this liquidity. Yeah, so I can only talk about the loans, and I see a very good investment opportunities in this class of assets.
Okay.
Also, I have to say that the interest in the loan market are pretty good. So when you get like up to 15%, it totally makes sense.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for that. Now, as I usually do, I actually asked some questions to my audience. I told them that I will have this interview with you and with Lonvest, and they actually sent me a few questions that they really want to know about. So I mainly got two main questions that emerged from that. So the first one was really about the whole regulation aspect. So as you might know, there's a lot of focus during the last couple of years on the regulation of peer-to-peer lending platforms, especially in Europe, right? Because there was some issue with some platforms in the past. So some platforms are going more like into the getting an investment or brokerage license. Mintos, right? They did that. Some other platforms are going more towards for getting this European crowdfunding license. So what are the plans of Lonvest regarding the topic of regulation?
Yeah, this is a very important topic. I've been to Finfellas Riga conference
Okay.
like a couple of weeks ago, and this is one of the most topics that we were discussing.
Yeah.
And there's two like business models or ways how investment platforms are going. So you receive you're receiving the license and get all these like bureaucratic and legal kind of things, or you go to the jurisdictions that have this like semi-licensing, or let's say without having any license. But I would say that most of the platforms understand and realize that they have to go for license, and so do we. So we're launching with Croatian registrations and already like analyzing and going for the licensing. Right now, our legal team is considering where to go. So when we talk about business, we have to be on the market fast. But then when you go up on this like let's say early phase, you have to go for licensing. But anyway, we know a lot of names on the market of the platforms that work in Ireland, in Croatia, in this jurisdiction, and they're very well known and trusted and get a lot of investment. And some of them also are, I would say, finance group owned. So I would say that this is on our roadmap, absolutely. But me as an entrepreneur decided to start with like the fastest solution and then go for harder solution, because in my life I launched like, I don't know, 10 different companies. My first company I launched when I was 19. It was a software outsourcing company, and it's still working right now. So we try to find the easiest and the fastest solution to go on the market, and then you're like try to build all these bricks and you build fundament.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. I'm the same when I launch my own courses or products. I just want to get it out there for sure. So the second question for the audience. So they say that Lonvest is a quite new platform, right? I know you have a lot of track record in the field, but Lonvest itself is quite new. So people were saying, well, what if it doesn't work out? Of course, don't wish you that, but what if there's a problem, you have to close down the shop? What will happen to the investment of people?
Yeah, so first of all, we have to say that since we're a group, we in our like all the contracts and all this ofertas and policy, we have the group guarantee. If one of the like countries that is not performing, it can be covered by another country that is performing. Since we're in the 4 markets right now, this is like a very good option for investors, because you have this like let's say we are in charge for everything that's going on in the investment platform in our companies as well. So I personally manage all these businesses and I supervise them and stuff like that. But in terms of investors' perspective, it's always a matter of if you have the offer on the market. For example, I've been to today in the morning. I've been to websites of most popular platforms, and there's a low offers. You don't have a lot things to invest. Another thing is diversification. So all investors have to have this diversification strategies, and Lonvest is one of the good options, because this is like working existing companies. We have transparent communication. We have pretty good product. I like how it look like. We're all open for communication to any investor. If they have questions, they can text me directly, or text our operation manager, or any person you want to ask more questions. So we understand that it's always a challenging thing when you're like early phase, but I'm good with it because I've been there a lot of times, so it's fine.
Okay, awesome. The next question is more like general. So, what do you actually see the whole field of peer-to-peer lending, crowd lending growing in the coming years? And maybe to guide the question a bit, especially in the field of like, for example, yields, returns on investment, right? So you mentioned that on Lonvest you can get up to 15%, right? So do you see this, like, for example, going up, going down? Sorry, what do you see the whole field going?
Yeah, it's a very good question because we talk about up to 15%. So there's always
Yeah.
like, countries when you have a high risk, and the countries that are more like, let's say tier one, tier two, when you understand there is like low risk countries, they can happen nothing and stuff like that. So I strongly believe that this consumer lending is here for ages. There's always will be this unbanked customer segment, and even the neobanks, which are very popular right now, they don't give loans to most of their customer database. So companies and fintech groups are here for a long time. And we personally, for us, we see like 5, 6 countries that we are ready to go with a good like legal setups and everything. So I believe that it's going to be there for a long time. And I believe that investors will have high incomes, high passive incomes, and high interest for some time, because these countries that are on the roadmap, and companies and the investment platforms in finance groups, they will have demand, and all these investments will be transparent. So I strongly believe that this market is pretty stable and is here for a long time.
Okay. Maybe also on the same question still, something I was curious about. Do you think that in the future there will be, probably in Europe, even more companies in peer-to-peer lending? Or there will be more like some maybe fusions of companies, and maybe only a few actors will be left at the end, but larger lending companies?
From what I see right now is that there's going to be more platforms in P2P lending, but there will be more diversification, because right now we see you can invest in real estate, already built existing projects, you can invest in farming, in a bunch of other things. Now you can even buy NPLs. There's platforms that are offering there. So I believe that since the demand for P2P investment and for high interest rates are there and it's high, the platforms will be coming more and more. But there's always a way to cooperate between platforms, or maybe to add some extra products. So I might say that, for example, we understand very good in the NPLs, and maybe we will have this NPL investing project in the nearest future. So we're on the way, and the market is there and is growing, and the licensing is happening. It's getting more and more and more transparent. So I believe that it's going to be a very good alternative to traditional banks. So, for example, right now you can invest money in like just a banking deposit. You can invest in ETFs and stocks, and this is one of the assets that are here, and that's given the competitive interest rates, and investors is more and more and more aware of this kind of products. So I believe it is going to be growing.
Okay, thanks for that. Now, still on the topic of the future, but more specifically about your company, Lonvest. So, can you share any of the plans of what's coming for Lonvest in the coming years? So you already shared some stuff, like, for example, about the license in the future. Can be anything you are comfortable sharing with the audience, like new products, new loan originators, anything new?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, I want to say that one of my mottos is that you have to listen to your customers. So right now we listen to the customer feedbacks, what they ask for, what are their typical questions, and we are like adding these features on the platform. So, for example, in the very soon we're gonna launch 2 more languages. There's gonna be German and Spanish language on the platform.
Okay.
Also, we're gonna be launching some of our new brands. So right now, there's offers from Vietnam and Poland is on the platform. We're gonna add our Sri Lankan offer. Of course, we cannot due to some due to war and due to currency restrictions, we cannot put Ukrainian loans on the platform. These two things. Another thing about licensing that I mentioned before to you, and we're gonna go from there.
Okay, great. That's great news. So, is there anything else that you would like to add specifically about Lonvest that we didn't cover, maybe?
Yeah, this is a very good question. So I want to say that I see very big perspective in the consumer lending market worldwide, and I strongly believe since we have this background already for 4 years in international expansion that our group is going to expand in more and more countries, and we're going to expand not only geographically but product-wise. So we're gonna be offering like long-term loans. We're thinking about car leasing products for particular markets. We're going to be expanding, and the Lonvest is one of our core assets in our group, because we understand that in a very good connection between investors and our companies that are providing products to the customers, we can spread it worldwide. So right now we have 5 million customers. I strongly believe that next couple of years we can double these numbers, maybe even more. So I invite all of investors to the Lonvest platforms. We're super open to any kind of questions or concerns or anything, because we're very agile and we want to evolve. So welcome to Lonvest platform, everyone. We'll be happy to see every one of you.
Sure, awesome, great. So now a question that I asked actually to every guest that come on this show to talk about peer-to-peer lending. So let's imagine that somebody is watching this or listening to this and is pretty new in the field of investing and also never really invested in peer-to-peer lending, right? What would be the one advice you would give to this person to really get started, you know?
Yeah, that's a good question. So one advice.
Or two, if you think it's relevant.
Yeah. So number one advice is you have to use different platforms. So never put your money onto one platform. Especially there is a good offer in the market. You can use different platforms and diversify your portfolio to different platforms. And number two, I think every investor should be very much aware where he is invested. So you have to research the group, you have to research personalities, because this business is all about people and about personalities. And you have to trust people and the numbers and the facts, and not trust the promises. So this is what I usually do. So I do a lot of research. I watch on the LinkedIn, I watch on the YouTube, everywhere I can follow them, and it will help you to save your money and to be successful on the long term.
Yeah, okay, that is great advice. Thank you for that. I love the fact that you mentioned diversification, right? Because also, as you said, it's so easy those days to actually get a diversified portfolio. So just to finish now, what are the best ways for people to get more information and also get started with Lonvest?
The easiest way is our website. So you can find there investors pages and all our policies and explanation how we work, details about loan originators, interviews, our blog, and many more. So the easiest way is to go and follow the link lonvest.com and get to know more information about us.
Great, I will do, and of course I will put all the links to Lonvest just below the video, and also the podcast show notes. So yes, thank you again for coming to the show. I think it was very interesting.
Thank you, Marco. Thanks for having me, and good luck to you and your audience.
Thank you. All right, so this was the interview with the CEO of the peer-to-peer lending platform Lonvest. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I put all the links that I mentioned inside the interview just below the video or in the podcast show notes if you are listening to the audio version of this So this is just below the video. You will find further down a link to my website where you can find more information about Lonvest. You will also find a link to go directly to Lonvest if you just want to try it out and check out the platform. I would love to know what you think about this interview, so if you have any questions or comments, please leave them just below the video. And that being said, thank you again for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one.